Good morning, YouTube. My name is SV, and today we're playing Satisfactory. Last night I played a little bit. Well, a couple of things. One, yesterday we finished, quote-unquote, our concrete factory. I just should have put the quotes around the finished piece because it's basically done. It's functioning. Not everything was lined up because we didn't have the appropriate encased industrial beams for it. But then last night, after I finished work and picked up some food, I hung about, watched some stuff on YouTube on one screen, and did some exploring. Picked up some hard drives, like you're seeing the work here in the MAM. I'm trying to get the turbo fuel recipe. That's what's trying to happen. Got one of them, the heavy oil version. Can't remember if I left my Explorer somewhere. Did I leave it somewhere? Well, regardless, let's go get one. So anyway, now our concrete train is coming in. And delivering materials to our starter base. We should actually close that off at some point as well. Great traffic. Great traffic. Oh, I don't like that that's blocking it. We're gonna have to fix some. We'll do a design pass here upcoming, but I think today might put down the foundation for our Quartz factory. All the way at the end down this way. We shall see though. I'm curious on how I want to tackle this because we're starting with, well, it feels like we're running out of space. Clearly we're now running out of space. We've got plenty of space. But is that one Caterium? I really need to label these. I had this thought yesterday that I'm going to make this concrete factory fully out of concrete. We'll do glass windows on the inside, but from the outside, we're going to make it concrete AF. Alright. Some of these belts are Mark IIIs. Actually, they might be on the output side. So you can see we didn't do this side yet. Only half of this factory is actually producing materials. Oh, I'm like, what is happening? We're on the wrong... I finally made myself a second... What's happening here? A second toolbar down there because I was... Yeah, there we go. When I was exploring, I just needed walkways and stuff like that. What? There's just one line? That feels weird. Interesting, okay. But I think, yeah, these in between belts. Yep, I remember these long belts being off. Yep, those are Mark IVs. I mean, very soon we're going to change some stuff over to Mark Vs. But for now, we must make do. Interesting, I really thought that there was more than that, but I guess not. Alright, let's do the other side so that we get equal distribution. Oh, I for sure don't have the materials to build splitters. How awkward. I really didn't come prepared. I kind of jumped the gun here a little bit. Let's head back. So yeah, thinking adding quartz at the end of this one, but going west to east the long way. So it'll be a little bit different looking. It'll be actually a lot like our iron factory over there. Just have to see how I want to align it to the grid where it's potentially not going to clip into something. And then if we get the turbo fuel recipe, that's when we'll redo the power plant. Oh, look at that. Maybe that's it right there. I don't know what to do with this space. I'm thinking potentially a trophy or a welcome station or something like that. Maybe we'll make it a doggo farm at some point. Go and get some doggos. I guess farm implies that we're using them for meat or something. We're not. Just as pets. Let's get these batteries. I picked up these batteries from Exploring the World. I think we need cable. We got plenty of cable. We're definitely going to need more concrete. That should do it. We'll take some silica with us so that we could, as soon as we finish up, wiring up the concrete, we'll start moving over and building the silica, or the quartz. Let's see, plastic, we need some plastic. And then we need screws, I don't know. We'll take like 4 stacks, just in case. 5 stacks. Take some of this. And some of those. And now let's go see what we got in the MAM. Nope, wrong one. Who needs this? That's ridiculous. I mean, it's 1 to 10, so it's kind of a lot, but let's be real. Blueprint, Criterion computer. Sure. Let's wait for the autosave. Even with 10 minutes, it feels like it's so frequent. I like how this buggy still bounces around all crazy, even if there, I mean, it's completely flat terrain. Yesterday I had a major intersection down there with trains completely stalled. There were like 5 trains that were stalled. Word of advice when you're building blocks: if one of your blocks is across an intersection. How do I put this? If one of your blocks after an intersection is going to have the train slightly spill into the previous one, and that's an intersection, you're going to have a problem. Maybe I'll demonstrate it in some spot here. Give you a little bit of insight into what I'm talking about, but long story short, make sure your blocks are bigger than your oh my gosh, stop. Okay. Make sure your blocks are bigger than your or longer than your trains are. Thinking whether we contain our entire base in this, well, it for sure won't be on this side. It'll actually more than likely be this entire west coast. I'm just wondering, because starter base is up here, I'm wondering if, right, no starters right there. I'm wondering if you can go around this way, or if there's a death wall. That's one of the things I'm curious about. So, and I'll probably end up exploring that death wall barrier sooner rather than later, so we get a good idea of our limitations. Okay, that's what you chose to. Okay. Alright, there, and back 2, and we're golden. This is one of those materials where I don't mind having excess in my inventory, just from fleeting these conveyor lifts. I mean, it's not much, it's going to be like 4 or 5, but more concrete's always nice. I think while we're over here, and we built this up, let's go review the Criterium one. I think I have Mark 3 belts over there as well. Just to make sure that we've got at least Mark 4s all the way around before we move over to Mark 5s. I want to tackle Mark 5s this weekend. I'd like to play a lot of Satisfactory this weekend. I took Friday and I took Monday off, which I'm very excited about. And really, honestly, I wanted a little bit of time off from work just because it's been kind of stressful lately. And additionally, I wanted to play more Satisfactory. It's going to be a low-key time off. Okay, 2 more, we're done, and then we'll go check out Criterium over there. What am I doing? I'm just doing stuff. And this way. This doesn't look like it's lined up. Why would it turn? you're tuning into the channel and thinking, wow, he definitely does this a lot. Meaning putting conveyor belts and splitters and mergers down. That's Satisfactory. I don't have, unfortunately, the time to sit down and do edits of these videos and make them super crazy interesting. To me, this is what the game is about. And really, if you're watching these videos, consider it just like, hey, we're hanging out and just chatting while playing Satisfactory. I encourage you to have your own game running on the side. Build along with me. You can build like I do, build different ways, whatever you like. I also encourage you, if you do have save games and you want me to take a look at them, I'm super happy to do that as well. I love seeing new factories and how people tackle different challenges. I could showcase it on the channel too if you like, but with your permission only, of course. Let's see here. There's our line. Oh man, imagine when it's going to be time to replace everything with Mark 5s. At least you could just click a belt and replace it, right? Makes it so much easier to run around and just tackle all of that. Mark 5s are pretty chunky belts, so you can see when you don't have a Mark 5 somewhere. Plus I think they have a bit more lights on the sides. Create an infinite loop. Alright, that's going to be our last one. So I like the way this turns out. It's a pretty clean setup, in my opinion. I always start from here because I want to make sure that I get the correct angles lined up. And I find it easier to line the belts up alongside each other like this from this angle versus coming up from here and then trying to figure out the line. Alright. So concrete's belted. Let's go make sure Caterium is feeling good. I know we definitely had some spots where we had compromised. Mark 4s. Yep. Mark 4s. Dead giveaway. Ah, there we go. Dead giveaway is going to be autosave and MAM notification. We'll look at the MAM here in a second. Let's get these. It's so weird which ones. I feel like I'm like, okay, why do these feel so sporadic? I don't think I have Mark 3s anywhere else right now. I think it's Mark 4s across the board. Meaning at other factories. I know that there's these lines or stuff. Let's go from this side. Less interference. interference. That's what happens when you run out of materials in the middle of a build. I found yesterday, I think it was in concrete or something, I found one lift that was a Mark III, and the rest were Mark IVs. So I was like, okay, that's great. Somehow that happened. You can visually see when it's a Mark III versus a Mark IV. Those are looking good. Yeah, this row has Mark IIIs. Like a skinnier belt. Skinnier, shorter? It's smaller up and down. Okay. Okay, I think this should solve us for Caterium. Yep. Alright, we're golden. Done with Caterium, we're done with concrete. Now it's time to build the Quartz factory. We should be able to get this up and running real quick. Because we for sure are basically mirroring the concrete and Caterium builds. It's the same footprint, but as far as the number of machines and types, especially since it's constructors for Quartz. Wait, yeah. Wait, is it? Yes, I think it is. Let's get rid of our ladder here. We don't need this anymore. Close up shop. So I saw that there's a console, not a console command, but a application command to disable holiday events. I may just do that. It's in the patch notes for today's patch. Alright, so we're over here to see, can we fit a factory in this way? And it does not appear that we can. So we're going to build our factory this way from this block. So let's, while we're at it, let's paint because, well, it's actually going to be hard for us to tell, but let me paint this right quick, and then we're going to count it on the way back. I want to say this is 25 wide. I have an Excel spreadsheet that shows me how much this is wide. 25 wide. So if I do 25, actually, first of all, that is going to be, that's where our road is going to go. So might as well have that. So that's 11. 21. 25. Well, that is unfortunate because that's directly where our road is. And it's not even centered. Okay, we're going to tackle something that I've been meaning to tackle here for a second. Let me get my car. Let me just put my car in my pocket and then go back. So, obviously we know we can go that far. Well, we're going to start down there. We're going to explore where the limit is before we start dying. That's what we have to tackle today because we're now running out of space to build our next factory in line with the rest. I could try to build it in the greenhouse, but then we have to figure out where the moth is flying. So regardless, we got kind of an annoying situation here to figure out location, and I don't want to build it here. I'd like to build it in line because I think I'm going to reserve this spot for the new power plant. So if you think that that power plant is big, oh, by the way, let's check. Of course, I don't have that. Let's build 5 reinforced iron plates. If you think the power plant that we currently have is big, wait till we get the turbo fuel one. There's a bunch of BS recipes coming up. Okay, so 2 things. Let's see how far we go this way before we die. It's always scary because the death wall is very harsh. This is significantly further out than I expected. Let's look at the map. Okay, we gotta be approaching it. Okay, am I literally outside of the map? What is happening here? What tile? This tile? So that's... past that is a problem. So we'll do... don't go this way. And let's see how far... pretty immediately that way. Okay, something feels weird here. Like it's actually this barrier or this spot. Okay, I don't understand. Let's back it up a little bit here. Let's see if... over. No. So let's just play it safe and we'll come back this way and let's look at the map and see. Alright, we're what feels like a significant distance in. Let's see right here. Autosave. Great. Okay. We're definitely within the map now. Let's see where the kill spot is over here, because it definitely does extend to this side. I built a giant factory in this area one time before, and there's kind of no rhyme or reason where the kill wall is. See? Like, it lets you go for a bit, and then it's like, nah. See? Like, what is this? So it's like the middle of that foundation. Can we go all the way down this way? And can we go this way? Nope. See, now we're at the point where we're like actually kind of in danger of dying. Because if we hit a death wall here, we're pretty screwed. So this works out a little bit better in the sense that it's like if you take a look how much further on the outside we are, like there could be 25 tiles. So this is going to be our new, let's see if we can go this way. Okay, we can. How far this way? Okay. See, it's like not a normal, it's not like a square shape. Telling you where the kill line is. Just finding the limits. Yeah, there's literally no rhyme or reason here. Because I feel like we couldn't go this far out before, so... See, so why... like, what is this? What is this angle? So I can go to there. So I'm basically trying to find the edges. How far out can we go, right? That's too far there. Okay. Alright, we're just going to leave it as this being our outside line. So this is significantly more towards the side than what we originally expected. What I'm curious is going from there out, how far we can go. Because we could maybe build another factory on the other side of our current road and train, and that's maybe where we could put Quartz. But I feel like from here to here, there might be like, I want to say maybe it's like a slanted pillbox. It's definitely not a square. So we know we can go as far out as that way. We might move the train line to here. It's perfect because it goes right with that, which means that's going to be a super popular intersection. For some of those really popular intersections like that, we might have to redo the crossings. Maybe make it like a roundabout-ish style. See, it'd be super cool if we could actually move the road over and then put the Quartz factory right here. And then could do iron plates, rods, screws here, and then the copper one over there. And get those knocked out in anticipation of next levels. And then free up space for our power plant down the way. So we know going, I think that's the furthest you can go that way. Let's find out. Ooh, we found out real fast. Okay, we're gonna leave this as our line. What about this way? Great. So that makes a lot of sense. Look how far over there we can go. Over here? No. Where do we think the line is? Here? How stupid. Okay, so not that one. I should have brought inhalers with me. Maybe I'll go get some, because otherwise this is going to be a deadly endeavor. Finding the limits before... This is like a reason why I might even like throw on God mode. Because... Who... Like... I don't know. It's so dumb that I can actually see so much more of the world over there, but there's no defining line. And the fact that it's not a square really makes it weird. The map, all research in the map is complete except for alternate recipes. So definitely going to need to do a bunch more exploring. What the F? Nothing else going to damage me. Let's get back to it. Looks like we might actually be able to build a factory on this side. The problem is I don't want to build it offset from this one, so we would probably build it starting where the Ethereum factory is right there. Alright, well this let us go all... Wait, what? What? Oh, that's even better. That's exactly what you want to see. Can I go on this rock, or am I going to die on this rock? Isn't that weird? Didn't we have a barrier up here? I don't know, Satisfactory. Something's up with your... Something's up with your physics here. I think that there's collision. Well, it wouldn't have killed me, but it might have pushed me there. I definitely didn't want to fall off the platform again. Nice. Trains are moving out here lately. Okay, so the game lied to us originally. Is it about to lie to us again? No. Okay, so we're not going that way. Let's see. Let's go up to our door here. see if this is a good spot. Okay, so far so good. Okay, weird. Yeah, it's gotta be an angle. Because how else would you explain that? Because I bet you I can go as far as I want this way. So we definitely can build a factory right here. Okay. Well, we know that we can build a factory here, so let's plan where we want the exact location, because I don't want... I'll definitely move the train line. We can build it up against that road. God, I want these gifts to go away. We can build it up against that road, and obviously it'll extend a pretty good distance out. And then we'll have to move the train line to be reflected that way. Or, yeah, that way. So this is 3 lanes wide, this is 4 lanes wide. Let's make this 4 lanes wide, and then we'll start our Quartz factory on this side. And that's going to be our plan. And then we'll redo that train line later. At least we'll get the baseline of the Quartz factory up and running. So that's the goal for today. That's nice though. That means quartz, iron rods, and plates and screws, copper sheets, copper wire, and cable can all be built on this road. So we have our basically tier 1, tier 2 materials all on one row. Then we've got to find where we're going to build the others. So we'll figure it out. I feel like we've got a decent plan here. Yeah, concrete factory is going to get redesigned. Oop. So, debatable whether we leave this line here. We probably will. The road will likely go like this and that way. Leaving a good chunk on the left-hand side for us to build against. Some interesting thoughts coming up here. And then we can make this road 4 lanes wide starting here, because this will be our main road again, but let's make it 4 lanes that way. And yeah, I'll just extend it like so for consistency. We won't do 4 lanes along the back. This will take 4 into 3 up that way. That works. So we've got our 4-lane road here. I'll put a curb or a barrier there. 4-lane road here. redo a lot of the walls and stuff that we did. There's a lot to redo, but yeah, let's tackle one thing at a time. Start building the Quartz factory. Way down on the other side. Let's get the Explorer out. Get moving a little bit faster over here. I don't even know where the closest quartz nodes are to us here. Maybe in the Rocky Desert? But it doesn't really matter since we're bringing trains over. Well, let's find out. After we build the giant factory here. Okay, wait. Are we saying I can't go further than this though? On this side. So do we have to build quartz past this building? I can't remember now. Because this is for sure not 25 wide. Let's see how wide this is. 15. So can I do another 10? Probably not. Nope. Okay. So let's build quartz starting at factory 2. Yeah, like that right there allows us to be that would make the factory work right there, but I don't want to offset them. So we're just going to build it alongside this one. Okay, not what I wanted to do. Let's unequip you just so that I don't do that again. Okay, there's our road. Let's get our fake sidewalk. And Explorer, you're kind of in the way. And all of this is in the way, which is our original road out of town. We need 25. That's 11. That's 21. Let's build our road alongside so we have a place to walk around and not die. Three lanes wide. Guess we're gonna, I don't know what we'll do with this space there. It's good to know that that's a box that we can use, but I don't know what we're gonna use for that box. Alright, so this is 51. I remember this being 51. So that's 11. 21. 31, 41, and 51. Will that take us right to that? Overlap. map it and I'll redo. And yeah, you can go away. So then this. Yep. This needs to be 25 wide. Basically, it's going right up to our road. Our road needs to be 4 lanes wide, so if it's not 4 lanes at this point, it is. So it's going right up to this. So that's the logic, at least so far. This will be our quartz factory right on the other side of our Caterium. That's copper, that's concrete. It's not too bad on placement. I really wish we could have built it over there, but kill walls, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, just laying down our template. I should probably use coated foundations here because that's what they're going to be anyway. 2 meters. Instead of having to go and repaint them later. Maybe we give each factory a little bit of color. They're all pretty much exactly the same. Maybe quartz could be purple and white. Iron would just be like blue and silver, blue and gray. Copper obviously like a orangish color. Concrete, well, concrete's just going to look like a concrete factory. It's just going to be made completely out of concrete. Fewer windows. That sort of a thing. Alright, let's delete you while we're at it. Sometimes the game feels like it runs super smooth, and other times it feels like it runs real choppy. Right there, that feels like really smooth. Maybe it's what I'm facing. I feel like they did a better job with the level of detail load-ins. And that might be helping. Dismantling big chunks of your work, always a fun time. Especially this was built when I didn't really have all of the materials, so I had to like run back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Just fix our mistake now. While we have a smaller footprint, don't have to come back and do it later. We leave that last tile there as our sidewalk tile. Paint that nice and white. Eventually get some pathways painted on it. Did that over in the iron factory, I think. The pathways, that is, but not not in some others. Here, yeah. It's having appropriate amounts of color cartridges is where the disconnect comes in. So we almost have our foundation laid for this, and then we just put up the walls, start divvying it up. You can stand up one of these pretty quick. In about an hour, hour and a half, I have largely the framework for another full factory to produce quite a bit of these materials. Oh, plastic. Wow, I did not expect to run out of plastic. I was like, it's only 2. It'd be really nice if that actually... That also looked like a new interface. Right? What did I press? Q. Yeah, that looks like a new interface. Interesting. Yep, so I think this area right here we might still use for that BS production line that I was talking about, where maybe we make a smaller factory here to convert leaves, wood into biomass and then solid biofuel, and then flower petals into color cartridges, power slugs into power shards. Maybe that's what that line, that little block there is, that we can't really utilize for anything else. Maybe this little block on the right hand side could be a trophy or like a welcome station location. We can dump these for right now. We'll hold on to the rest. And I'm just going to take the whole stack so we don't have a concern. Sometimes we drive on the right side of the road, sometimes we drive on the left side of the road. Unfortunate that we made that street 4 wide, because I am for sure not moving these factories and the subsequent train stations and all of the crap underneath. No effing way. So that's just going to be a weird 4-lane wide road tucked away back there. Might extend the autosaves back out to 15 minutes. Haven't had a crash in a very long time. But again, I can't tell if that's because my autosaves are not at 15 minutes. Pretty sure we brought some silica with us, which means we should be able to put up these walls pretty much immediately. Okay, so it's 3 in. 3, 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3, so is it, it's this corner. Sorry, I had like a brain fart there. Just build our little perimeter here. Our little template, and you know, it doesn't mean it always has to look like this forever. We may go back later and change it, but at least this gives us a good starting point. There's the 3. I leave a margin or a border of 3 foundations to give room for decoration, pillars, supports, things like that. Clearly we haven't been using it here, but our iron factory has made use of it a little bit. So I think we might do some versions of that as we start adding floors to some of these factories. So right now, if it's one ground level floor like that, it's, you know, what kind of supports do we really need? We're just going to go the 4 tall right off the bat. We'll find where the door is soon. Well, it's actually a lot easier since we have one directly across the way. When I like that, we can build a sky bridge between them. Are we gonna run out of silica? That's always the question. Maybe okay. We're probably not okay. I don't think I took all of it though, so at least there's that. Almost got our border set up. God, I hate these gifts just lying around like this. It's so annoying. As soon as you pick one up, another one freaking falls. All right, let's see where's the door. Yeah, let's make this a regular one, not concrete. And then, if I remember correct, it's 3, and then the wall starts. 1, 2, 3. Yep. 3, and then the wall starts. So it's 1, 2, 3. So this is the corner here. Even though this should be a door. Like that. Yeah, we're 100% gonna run out of silica. What was that noise? That was weird. There. Delete that. Get us a door. Alright, we are making some progress here. Almost have our basic foundation for Quartz built. Where's the halfway point here? You can just do it from the windows. So 6, so 7. There. Let's go basic walls, fix-it walls. For up here, for harder. We're making some good progress here. This is going pretty quick. See what I mean when you have like a little template that you can just plop down to get the ball rolling super quick. You need to stand up a new factory. Makes it nice and easy. We should have been doing this on the top up here. Might as well just add it. I like the way that these windows look for a factory. For the inside of one, that is. And we're almost done with half of our quartz. Like today, before it's time for me to sign on for work, we might actually get this mostly wrapped. Iron got real extravagant. We have like in-between designs, 1 meter tall walls, stuff like that. We ain't doing that on this one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here. And there's our silica running out. Let's go get more. Now we're going to leave it here because we've got a space we're working with already, so we'll just leave it parked outside of our quartz factory so we can just jump right in and out. Yeah, we for sure have to move the train station or the train line down there. That'll be its own separate project because it's going to involve building the new one first, having the appropriate intersections, the appropriate signals and everything, and then moving. Basically then deleting the old so trains can start using the new. I like how the sound was still going as though the Explorer was revving. Silica should be up this way. Why is more plastic not coming in? We'll have to explore that in a bit. Oh, I passed it. Let's just take the whole stack and we can dump it back in later. Found one drop pod yesterday that was requiring a quantum computer, So I put a beacon down on it. It's like in that pinkish red forest. Boy, yesterday while I was exploring and getting drop pods, there's some fun times to be had there. I enjoy exploring the world and just navigating all the terrain and being like, oh, what's that up there? Is that a slug? Is that this? But yesterday I was also exploring, and there was one section where I got, just making sure that's 3 light. There was one section where I was picking up materials next to a drop pod. And you know, you basically just walk around, scoop everything up in a drop pod area. Well, one of the pieces I scooped up was nuclear waste. And basically immediately died because of it. So that was interesting. We are making some good progress on this Quartz factory. Okay, so door goes there. Easy. You know, sometimes you just get in the flow in building these things. Almost a challenge. How fast can you build it? Where's our line? Oh, it's here. I'm like, where's our line? And our framework for our Quartz factory is set. So, do we have enough material? We did not bring the materials for our reinforced plates for constructors. Let's go get a whole mess of those. We can do something down here with like a train. I don't know. A train depot station or something? I'm not sure what I want to do down there. I also think I might move the subway stations within each of the respective buildings towards the entrance or something. Reinforced iron plates should be right here. I don't need all of them, but I do need quite a few. How much does this constructor take? 2? Okay, I took more than I need, but whatever. I am excited once we get that power plant up and running. I was looking at a blueprint design on Satisfactory calculator yesterday, and their fuel generator power plant was giving off 54 gigawatts. Is that just 54,000 megawatts? Now that I think of it. Because if it is, that's not that much. Like ours is giving off 24. Alright. So, as per usual, we're 2 in and then 3 up. So this is where the constructor would go. And I'm just verifying. Yep, okay. So how... We'll do silica on this side. I'm considering this the right side. So you're going to come in this way. Like this is the front, that's the back. That's how I'm considering this. Yep, that's exactly where I wanted that one. Okay, and then it's 3 spaces. I got a little bit of an itch. 1, 2, 3. So it should be here. Okay. One of these is not set right. One of these also not set right? Is that why there was a weird snap? Yep, we're looking good. So 1, 2, 3 should be here. Should be this one. And that is our silica production line. That's so funny the way that does that. We're on the wrong one. 7 should be this. Might as well just belt them up now. And the idea is that we can just build another floor if we need additional. And having silica and quartz like this into sides of the factory, I think is totally fine. I don't know if we necessarily need one factory to cover each of the materials. Basically, I'm viewing it as what are the input materials? Right, so if we've got quartz coming in, and we have quartz crystal coming out, and silica coming out, I think we're golden. This would be another one we could just have our output train immediately deliver it to our base, and then cut off that line from the starter base, which we haven't cut off concrete yet. It's still coming over from the starter base. The one I really want to get going is plastic. Like building, well, there's a lot of things I want to get going. Actually, the one I super want to get going is aluminum. That would be the best one for us to tackle sooner rather than later, so we can get Mark 5s and really start working on pure efficiencies. Mark 5s, Mark 3 miners, things like that. And then we'll use our power shards for the miners. Almost exclusively. when we build our fuel generator plant, we're going to build it at the scale where we're using all the refineries. No power shards like we have in there right now. I think we've got like 100 power shards in there. I'm not opposed to very much down the line. And when I say very much down the line, I'm talking about, you know, give it another 600 hours into this build when we've really got some giant things built up, of doing some slight cheating and gifting myself a whole bunch of power shards. So at some point you run out. There's only so many power slugs in the world. And wouldn't it be cool if we could just crank the efficiency of everything to not even 11, like a 15, and just really start producing some crazy shit. We are for sure limited in our efficiency by our trains, but that's not where I'm looking to be the most efficient. I'd just like to be efficient in the ratios that we put together largely. But in reality here, like silica, look at this weird ass ratio. So we could figure out what that looks like for how many lines coming out. Because actually, funny enough, one row of these oversaturates a 780 line. One grouping, that is. This is built for 30 on each side output. There's 26 machines on either side, whether it be constructors or smelters based on the factory. And so 26 times the 33.25 is going to be higher than 780. So in this instance for silica, it makes sense to down clock some of these machines to get to the appropriate output, because otherwise it's just being wasted. I care less about the input percentages because the inputs are again relegated by our train, but I'd like to get to a point where we have a consistent 780 line being produced out of each of these. And that's going to go into a train anyway, so it's the same problem. Okay, so that's silica. Let's do quartz on this side. So we're 2 in, 3 up. It's right there. Okay, 1, 2, 3 should be right here. I like to have these feet like a little on the hanging over the edge there. Yeah, that's not aligned. That looked weird. For a second I thought it was one of the ones that got placed above me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and should be right here. Tell me this is an easy way to just build out a quartz factory. The real problem is going to come in when we have to do the train lines, though. just built all of these up. I'm gonna say we accomplished quite a bit in this video today already. For those of you watching on YouTube, these are live streams, archives. And that's why they're a little bit longer, because I've been doing them before work, and I get up pretty early before work starts. So it's nice to just jump in, build a little bit of a factory in the morning. If you're curious, you can always pop on over and see if I'm live streaming. I think you get notified if you subscribe. So maybe consider doing that. But, you know, we're having a good time here, building this giant factory. I would definitely classify this as a mega factory. It is separate buildings, all making their own product. And that product is going to go into a separate building to make a separate product, and so on and so forth, until we get to the point where we get our gold coffee cup. And doesn't necessarily mean we're going to stop right there. I definitely want to have a pretty large factory here. It's mostly vanilla. It's, I mean, outside of the fact that I am using some mods, but I'm not using mods to help me build faster or something like that. I'm not using area actions or Smart Foundations mod, but I could see myself using Smart Foundations in the future once they actually fix some of the pieces there and add compatibility for other foundations outside of just the standard, because who wants to use that anymore when you got cool things like this coated concrete here. I should have set all the recipes before building this up. Makes it easier to navigate into. The constructors, but it's okay. We've done it before, we'll do it again. We are absolutely going to run out of encased industrial beams. If that's the case, we'll just build this up later. I don't know, we might be okay. I don't know. We'll see how close we cut it. It's 13. It's 26 times 4 per line times 2. 52 times 4. We have enough. For at least up here. We definitely don't have enough for the sorting floor. First of all, we actually don't even have a sorting floor below us right now. That'll still need to be built. I knew that sounded weird. It's a nice, easy build. I don't know, what are your thoughts in the comments? Just leave them down below. What are your thoughts about the templatized version of these factories? you like the idea? Would you prefer to see a little bit more variation? Maybe we do variation for things like reinforced iron plates, rotors, stuff like that. It's definitely going to be a little bit different when we introduce assemblers into things. The sorting is going to be a little bit unique there. Cool. We've got that. Now it's going to be time for some I've kind of learned that it goes like so. I think I've got this memorized now. And this will be... Got a train beeping over there because there's no place to go. I think this is 2. Plant a corner. Like that. Yep, I absolutely have this memorized by now. Nice easy way though to build something so that you can easily throw it down and you're not bogged down by it. Ooh, that's cool. We could see that over there. That looks cool. I like that. Yeah, it's definitely starting to come together. I haven't built roofs or anything on a lot of these because we're going to add additional floors. I just wanted to get some pieces kicked up and running. And maybe we go in later and we just build like 5 floors onto each one, and then that's when we consider that a complete for then. Because it won't be complete forever. It's hard for me to tell from that angle. I think I got it right though. I certainly did. Wrap up this nice little walkway around here. We'll get the one inside, probably get power up into this. Don't think we're going to have time for train station today. But more or less, I think we're going to be pretty good about wrapping this Quartz factory up today. Pretty easy like walkway design here. Just like a few pieces that I would say are a drawback. Like when you're inside the building, it's not super easy for you to get onto the walkway. You kind of have to walk out, come back in. So that part's not as intuitive, but something that I was considering figuring out for future. It's not a priority. And looks like the first floor is almost complete. And it's complete. And now the second floor. That's going to involve more plastic. It's funny when you're in the midst of building things and then you go check your inventory and you're like, look at all those gaps of all the things I used. Perfect. So here we just build that as a temporary solution until we add an additional floor, and then we can just rip that up and change it to be facing the other way. Right? Actually, it's not even facing the other way. It's you build it to the one without any railings, so you can build a staircase off of it. It is crazy how many buildings we already have in our build. Considering each of these buildings has a minimum of, each of these factories has a minimum of 104 buildings. Iron Factory has 208. I can't even remember how many buildings we have in the fuel generator build there, but I feel like it's substantial. One this way, and then a lovely curve. If you're watching this on YouTube, you get the chance to really see me more or less build our entire factory in one playthrough. That was poorly phrased. You're able to basically watch me build this all the way, more or less from scratch while in these videos. Sometimes I build stuff on the background, but really it's things we've already discussed usually. Or I'll give you a tour of it after. But yeah, this is definitely maybe a little bit different take of how most people would put together a video in Satisfactory on YouTube. You see a lot of people do heavily edited videos, and that's all well and good. I just can't support that. But like, I so badly want Fixmas to be over. I'm so tired of these dumb gifts being here. And I don't know if we're going to build a Fixmas factory just yet. We could, depending on how... I almost said bored. That's the wrong word, because I'm not bored of our build. There's going to be so much more to do. There's no way we're going to quote-unquote finish the factory before Fixmas is over, so That's not going to be the deciding factor. Okay, we've got that stuff done. Now let's get our foundations in. Got plenty of plastic on us now also. Should be no problem here. It's a nice easy build. Do the math after we get things hooked up for silica and quartz respectively to see where the numbers lie, what needs to be downclocked. Yes, that thing is freaking out. We ran out of concrete? What? I did not expect that. The real ones, the real like wrench. Hey, Mr. Walkway. The real wrench in my plan here for these templatized buildings is refineries are not included in my template. So gonna make it a lot harder. That'll have to be its unique style of building. What if this was just the first floor of our factory? And then we had like a second floor? Hey J. Marshall, good morning. See you driving into the crystal lattice structure. Huh? What? What does that mean? Let's get a whole mess of concrete. I don't need that much, but I'll use it eventually. It's nice to see, like when you have that little balcony up on top there, it's kind of a cool look. You can hang about on the roof. I should build a path to the roof of each of my buildings. I think that's a cool idea. Like a cool additional vantage point. I see, J. Marshall. I did not get that joke. We're almost done with the roof here. Then we go in, put the steel beams in, power in, set the recipes. Potentially determine whether we want to figure out the math on underclocking. see how it goes. Okay. Do we decide this is the silica one? I think that's what I decided. Let's verify. Silica. Yeah. Let's just set silica recipe. Across the board. It's fun that it's all the way down there. Then the other side will be quartz crystals. Yeah, so definitely not going to be the exact ratios. Well, we'll figure out how this looks. All I care about is, are we getting 780 lines out? The input is relegated by trains. I'm also thinking potentially we use the train floor for some buffer storage. Excel in science and math jokes that few understands explains why I invited to fun parties 4 years ago. Nice, J. Marshall. Oh, I do like that. That is a pro tip. Will that stick? Heck yeah, well, wow, that is a pro tip. Nice, J. Marshall. I like that a lot. I didn't realize that I thought it might be on a constructor basis, which I guess would be silly, but I like that. That's a good pro tip. All right. Oh, we got to do the walkway in here. I think we missed a couple of sections of a walkway right here. That was a little embarrassing. Doing the walkway first gives me a little bit better of a read on where the beam should go, so that I don't misplace the location of that. This is what I mean, we don't have a good way to get up to this with this build. And it is also going to interfere with other lines coming down from the excess, like when we build other floors. Like you could see it in our iron factory. But something that can be figured out later. Solving a problem where we don't quite know what the problem is just yet doesn't seem like the best way to do sometimes when I watch other people play Satisfactory, I don't mind like the moments where it's like a little, oh wow, we ran out of iron plates? I really did not expect that. I really don't mind the moments where it's like a little bit quiet. Like I said, I'm typically watching Satisfactory while playing Satisfactory, or I throw it on the TV when I want to just see someone build some stuff, and then basically with the expectation that I'm going to fall asleep. Like I'm going to take a nap. So it's kind of my mindset when I'm building as well. I don't know how much more to talk about in the build that I've got going on there, you know, so sometimes it'll just be a little on the quiet side. It's a nice little small space for a factory. We'll have to figure out something for that. Had no complaints on the trains recently. Yesterday I had basically all of them stopped. Let's see, iron. That's that side. Do I need all of it? No. Should be enough. Having a little explorer going back and forth makes things so much easier. Drifted around that corner. Alright, let's see. The train line is going to be a problem. Because we can't go all the way out. Otherwise we would have built the factory that way. So it's going to have to like come in and then come back out when we redo it. That's going to be great. Where did we leave off? Is it this one? No, I think we got that one set. I think it's this side. Yeah, this side's not complete. I've never actually even used the hover pack in this game yet. Didn't have a build in update 4 that was far enough along to get the hover pack. Well, I probably could have. I just didn't have the appropriate factories producing what I wanted to produce, and decided to scrap that design, which usually happens, and move over to something new. And when update 5 was happening and I saw the cosmetic changes, I was like, oh heck yeah, I think I'm really going to commit to a solid build for this one. And that's what we did. And part of starting the YouTube channel was so that I can actually have a completed build of one of my bases. Alright, so this is the quartz crystal. 37.5 to 22.5. So the limiting factor on this side is the input and not the output. Yeah. So we don't have to worry about... I don't have to worry about 780 lines out. We have to worry about 780 lines in. So to me, this means like raw quartz would be a 2-floor endeavor. I mean, both could be a 2-floor endeavor. It's funny because they're basically inverted, right? 22 to 37.5, 37.5 to 22 point. It's kind of annoying. But it is funny that this side requires more than that side, but they... And yeah, it is, so it is basically inverted. In reality... I guess I could have done like a net calculation on the 2 of them in and 2 of them out to see what the exact numbers and amounts required are. We will do that, but I don't know if I have it in me to tackle that today. Ooh, I gotta get ready for work. It's almost time. It's already been a 2-hour-long stream/video. That makes sense, J. Marshall. He's saying that once you get the hover pack, your building strategy changes to basically immediately getting power into something, because that's obviously how you're going to use the hover pack. It makes total sense. Alright, let's at least get one of these sides up with our beams, like we do. So much easier to jump on top of a constructor than it is a smelter, and that feels counterintuitive to me for some reason. I say that as I miss a jump. Power beams, oh my goodness. Ready to go. Then we do the beam around the catwalk. Actually, you know what? Let's just get power going into them. And once we're on the catwalk, we basically have everything we need to get that part of it set up. So I'm off on Friday and I'm off on Monday, so expect to see more streams, longer streams this weekend. Which I'm super excited about, because I really do want to knock out some big projects this weekend. How far up or down the tech tree can we get in factory production? I mean, at the speed that we're going here, we're doing all right. The problem really comes in when we have like materials not being produced fast enough from the starter factory, that sort of thing. I have to figure out how to create posts on YouTube. let you know when I plan on going live. I might even just do like a premiere. Look forward to seeing what I'm doing next. Thanks, J. Marshall. Me too. Kind of want to get drones, because then we might do some slight redesigns to our factories to have drones bringing in materials. How cool would that be? Or at the very least, taking materials, completed ones, like for example, quartz and silica, out of here and into our hub sorting space. And I for sure am going to use drones for nuclear. We're not using trains. Yeah, logistics and scaling are already... Logistics is becoming a big problem already in this space, considering the train network for the size is already pretty saturated. I have a thought about adding a third rail, like a bypass intersection rail, and then using paths to complete that. So a train can reserve a path. You could either, go along the right-hand side or take the middle rail if the right-hand side is blocked. It's something I may tackle. Drones take 200 megawatt space. Very expensive option. I only use it for nitrogen gas. Oh. Well, remember, J. Marshall, we are playing with the mod that allows me to... Where is it? Here? All my nodes are pure nodes, which means pure uranium, which means pure oil, which means our power should be fine for the foreseeable future. So hopefully we don't have to worry about power at all. And I'd like to build... Wait, what? Since when does that not attach? That's weird. Must have built one a little bit offset or something. I don't know. That was odd. Is this also not going to attach? Alright, we're gonna not belt this up. We're going to get all of this wire secured, and then we'll probably call the video here soon, because as I mentioned, I do have to get ready for work. Yeah, pure uranium is going to be very helpful when it comes time for power. Pure everything, right? So I don't have to worry about nitrogen, purity, or any of that stuff. We're going to be building big. That was the whole point of that. I don't want to deal with ratios, and I want to build big. That's why I got that mod. Yeah, Mark III miners, fully sharded, give you 1200, but there's no belt that supports 1200. That's the problem. 780 is the highest. that you could pull out on a belt. I like the way that this power line situation looks. I think this is my favorite way to run power lately. I just have a hard time realizing though sometimes which way is the front and which side's the back. I know that the devs were looking at the Mark III minor / belt situation being a mismatch, and there was talks that Mark III minors potentially could have 2 outputs. They are limited by the game engine on the output, it sounds like, the throughput on a belt. So their resolution there would be, okay, well it just spits out 2 belts, like you could use 2 belts. I like that a lot. In that case, I want a Mark III miner to go up to, if I fully sharded, up to 2 780 lines. Can you imagine that? Off of a pure node? Okay, so we've got that set up. I'm gonna bring power. Well, a little bit of a problem in bringing power over because we actually don't have a good location for it just yet. See what I'm talking about in a second because we don't have power being run. At the street level for this factory just yet. That's what we're going to do though, before we call it a video for today. But from what side? Because we got power running along the back there. Let's bring it down this way and up. Will it reach? What if I was saving all those gifts? Imagine how much I'd have already. And those autosaves are getting extensive. This will not reach all the way, right? Nope. It's too long. So where's the center? Okay, 17. That's 8. And this is center. Meters. Okay, why was that freaking out? Yeah, we're going to put a curb up here as well. Same deal we've been doing. We're just not going to tackle that right now as we're pressed for time. Just make sure that there isn't a meeting I am missing. No, I absolutely need to wrap this sooner rather than later. So we're going to not quite do a quick and dirty version, but we are going to speed this along a little bit. That'll eventually go that way. Let's just add it. So we can get the appropriate angle. And then this is wires too long. So let's put it right here. I don't think I need iron plates unless I'm actually putting down a pole. Or iron rods, I should say. Oh, I do! Well, looks like we're not connecting the power today. We're gonna have to figure that a different time because I don't have the time to go back to the base and do that. So, thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. If you're watching live, thanks for jumping in. If you were watching on the channel, don't forget to like,